To Naso. A visitor from Rome, together with his son, was present at one of his lectures when Epictetus said, "This is the way I teach," then abruptly stopped talking. The man pleaded with him to go on, but Epictetus said, "The learning process is boring to anyone completely new to, and unfamiliar with, a skill. Now, the skill's finished product leaves no doubt as to its utility. Most are even pleasing or attractive. It is not exciting, for instance, to follow the progress of a shoemaker in his art. But shoes are not only useful, they are usually aesthetically pleasing to a degree. Or the training of a carpenter. It is very tedious for people who are not carpenters to watch. But the finished cabinetry justifies the effort. Music makes my point most obviously. Attend a music lesson, and you will think it involves the most monotonous training of all. But the results please and entertain everyone. In our school, we picture the philosopher's goal more or less as follows. Bring the will in line with events, so that nothing happens contrary to our wishes, and, conversely, nothing fails to happen that we want to happen. Pursue it, and the reward is that neither desire nor aversion will fail in their aims, and we will fill all our roles in society as son, father, brother, citizen, man, woman, neighbor, fellow voyager, ruler, or ruled, without conflict, fear, or rancor. That is how we picture the philosopher's goal. The next step is finding how to make it reality. Becoming a carpenter or pilot, we realize requires some formal training. It is unreasonable to suppose that it will take more than just the desire to be good or bad, that the student of philosophy will also have to learn a few things of his own. So we look for some guidance. Philosophers say that the first thing to learn is that God exists, that he governs the world, and that we cannot keep our actions secret, that even our thoughts and inclinations are known to him. The next thing to learn about is the divine nature, because we will have to imitate the gods if we intend to obey them and win their favor. If the divine nature is trustworthy, then we should be trustworthy. If it is free, then we should be free. Likewise, if it is benevolent and forgiving. All our thoughts and behavior should be shaped on the divine model. So where to begin? If you are prepared for it, I would say that you need to begin by understanding the meaning of words. Are you implying that at present I don't? I am. Then how come I use them? You use them the way illiterates use written signs, or the way cattle make use of their senses. In other words, it's possible to use them without fully understanding what they mean. But if you think you really do understand, let's take a few words and test each other's level of understanding. But I'm a grown man who's already been through the wars. Exams at my age are an imposition. Don't I know it? And after all, you're not here because you think you lack for anything. What could you even imagine that you need? You're rich, you have children, a wife, probably, and a sufficiency of slaves. The emperor knows you, you have many friends in Rome. You see to your civic duties, and know how to reward your friends, and get even with your enemies. What more could you want? Well, what if I were to show you that all that's missing are the keys to happiness? that your life to date has been devoted to everything except what it ought to be? And what if I were to crown it off by saying that you don't know what God is, or man, or what good and bad are, and, if that's not too much to endure, that you don't know who you are either? Could you put up with me, take the criticism, and remain? Hardly. You would be out of here in a huff and a hurry. And yet, I won't have done you any harm, any more than a mirror is to blame when it shows a plain person what they look like, or a doctor is mean if he tells a patient, "Look, you may think this is insignificant, but you're really sick. No food for you today, only water." No one thinks, "How rude." But say to someone, "Your desires are unhealthy, your powers of aversion are weak, your plans are incoherent, your impulses are at odds with nature, and your system of values is false and confused." And they go off alleging slander. Our condition can be compared to a festival. Cattle are brought in to be sold, and most of the people attend to either buy or sell. But there are a few who come simply to see how and why the festival is organized, who put it on, and for what purpose. It's just the same in this festival here. Some people are like the cattle, that care only for their feed. Those of you focused on wealth, property, a large household, public status, all this is nothing more than cattle fodder. But a few people in the crowd are capable of reflection. What is this world, they want to know, and who runs it? Someone must, for no country or estate can function for any length of time without its governor or steward. And this design, so big, so beautiful, and so well planned, can it run on its own, haphazardly? Okay then, there is a ruler. But who is he, and how does he exercise control? What are we like? Who are his descendants? And for what purpose were we born? Shouldn't there be some link between us, some connection? That's what occupies a few who spend all their spare time seeing and learning as much as they can about the festival before the time comes to get up and leave. Naturally, they are laughed at by the majority, much the way those who make money at the games laugh at those who are only there to watch. And I suppose if cattle had opinions, they would make fun of anyone interested in anything besides the grass.